This is an ABC News special report.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. We're coming on the air with fast-moving developments in the investigation into the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. FBI Director Kash Patel and other officials are giving an update in the investigation. Let's listen in.
We appreciate the media and the partnership we have with you in helping us to get information out to the public so that we can catch this assassin and hold him accountable. We are going to share a portion of a video and that we have of the suspect, as well as some new stills. Those have already been released, but we want to make sure that they get as much attention as possible so that we can get help from the public in tracking down this evil human being. So we're going to cue up the video right now. Show that. I've asked Commissioner Bo Mason if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
Thank you, Governor. Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video and I'll narrate as we walk through that. So here you see that the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges and some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black t-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive t-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. Good. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs I mentioned. These have been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please pay close attention to the t-shirt. Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo, and again the t-shirt. Blue jeans, and you get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well. We have pushed these out. We'll continue to push these out. And we just ask for the public's cooperation through the public. The tips that have been coming in are what are giving us our next leads and enabling us to continue to further this investigation. We've had great cooperation from the public, and we're continuing to ask for that as we move forward. Thank you, and I'll turn the time back over to Governor Cox.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mason. I want to thank Director Patel and his team. It's great to have them on the ground with us tonight. We've had several briefings, and he's had an opportunity to walk the crime scene. We appreciate our local law enforcement here. Again, we have Mike Smith, who is the county sheriff here. We have all of our local chiefs of police that are here as well, all working hand in hand with the state and with the FBI as we move forward with this investigation. Now, I'll just give you a little warning. We will not be taking any questions at this time. We're giving you the latest information we have, being as transparent with everything that we have. But I do want to share a couple things that I think are important. We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing. This case also highlights the dedication of our law enforcement community. We have 20 federal, state, and local law enforcement partners that are working shoulder to shoulder to find the person who committed this horrific crime. With their support, we've completed nearly 200 interviews. As you're aware, as has already been reported, the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of the person responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. We also continue to implore the public to support this investigation and come forward with any information. We are truly hopeful that this video and new photos will lead to even more tips. We are processing. We have an incredible team, a state and federal team working together to process those tips. We're going out in tandem to interview any potential person of interest or suspects. But we need, again, we need as much help as we can possibly get. Any videos or photos that you might have, the public, should be submitted to our digital media tip line, which is www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. Again, that is fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. You can also provide general tips about the shooting by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, or at tips.fbi.gov. This is, I would just say, this is not just a local matter here in Utah. We have people all over the country that are helping to bring this perpetrator to justice for Charlie Kirk and his family. I will just add as well that, as was mentioned, there is a lot of forensic evidence that is being processed right now at both the state lab and the federal labs, federal lab on the East Coast. So we are working in tandem together. I would also just add a word of note for those people who are spending so much time on social media. I think Charlie said it best, that when things get bad, we should put our phones down and spend a little time with our families. There is a tremendous amount of disinformation. We are tracking our team, the state team, and I'm sure the federal team as well. What we're seeing is our adversaries want violence. China, we have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those, to turn off those streams, and spend a little more time with our families. We desperately need some healing. We'll have more to say about that in the days and weeks to come. More than anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I will just say is we've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case, and that will happen here in the state of Utah. Again, to the public, to those who are grieving, thank you for your prayers. I know we are feeling those prayers. I know the Kirk family is feeling those prayers as well. We pray that God will bless our nation at this very dark time. We can start healing by finding this perpetrator and holding him accountable, and we need your help to do that. Thank you.
And there you see FBI Director Kash Patel walking out. We just heard, of course, from Governor Spencer Cox of Utah saying, we are going to catch this person. We will pursue the death penalty in this case. Officials did show video that we saw of a portion of the video after the shooting where we saw the suspect actually jumping from the roof. You see it right there. He goes to the corner, jumps down, ends up in the grass. They talked about how they've been able to determine a shoe print, saying that he was wearing Converse tennis shoes. He's then going to walk pretty casually across the grass here and ultimately walk across the street. They talked in great detail about what he was wearing, talking about this black T-shirt that was distinctive with an American flag and an eagle on it, a black hat with a triangle logo on it, but clearly an appeal to the public for any potential help and leads. Matt Gutman joins us live in Utah. Matt, what struck you and stood out to you as we got this latest update from officials there in Utah?
I think it's got to be that video, Lindsay. That was pretty stunning. You're watching the moments just after this assassination, and that shooter fired that one round from that high caliber bolt action rifle and then knew to get away immediately. You can see that video, him scampering across the roof of that campus building and then taking a pretty big leap off the roof. And it's not clear in the video. We'll have to go over it and ask authorities, but it almost appears as if he injures himself when he lands, and as he jogs away, he seems to limp off before going to a walk. And what's also clear from that video, Lindsay, there were people walking around him. People probably saw him, but obviously did not register that he was the shooter. And authorities say he deposited or dropped his weapon in a wooded area, basically about 300 yards behind me, which made him even more inconspicuous as he went through these neighborhoods, which they now say he did. The other thing is, I think that Utah's Governor Spencer Cox said that healing can begin once we catch this perpetrator. And of course, Lindsay, the multiple appeals to the public. The FBI, local and state law enforcement saying we cannot do this without the public's help. They have video. They have the identifying features of the suspect. What they need from the public, they're saying, is a name. And they're asking the public to call 911 or that tip line if they get it or they know who this is, Lindsay.
And also interesting that the governor said, Charlie Kirk said it best, put your phones down, with regard to the disinformation that he said was happening on social media.
I think he's been trying to calm the rhetoric. I guess it was yesterday, it seems like a week ago, when he said that this is a political assassination, but he also noted attacks against Democratic lawmakers and said we need unity. We need to calm things down now. And I think that was the same tone that we heard. He also said that closure would come with seeking the death penalty, which he has sought legal counsel in the state over. And that's the fate that awaits this suspect once he's caught, if he's apprehended, Lindsay.
All right, Matt Gutman for us. Thanks so much. I want to bring in Pierre Thomas, who joins us now on the phone. And Pierre, what do you make? We didn't hear from Kash Patel, though we saw him there right behind the governor. What do you make of the FBI director actually being there on the ground during this investigation?
Well, Lindsay, he, according to my sources, is trying to send a clear message that this is the highest priority. We also know this is the murder and assassination of one of the president's close friends and advisors and someone who has supported him. The FBI director, the 8th Attorney General of the United States, they all want to signal that no case right now has a higher priority than this. The other thing that struck me about the press conference is this is a full-out campaign to get the public to help. By releasing the video, they're trying to just stir anybody's memory information. They focus on the T-shirt that the suspect was wearing. They focus on the backpack. They're looking for anyone that recognizes something about this person to be the person that would call into the FBI and to law enforcement and says, I think that is so-and-so and so. This is what this is about. And they also said they're getting a stunning amount of tips, 7,000 leads and tips, the most since the Boston Marathon bombing. So they believe that the way this case will be solved is for somebody in the public who has seen this person and can recognize them and will call into law enforcement.
Pierre Thomas, thanks so much. And as you said, yeah, they've mentioned they have not had as many tips since the Boston Marathon bombing. Talked about how there have already been 200 interviews that have been completed. Aaron Katursky joins us also on the phone. Aaron, just talk about, again, that appeal for help from the public and what you're hearing from your sources.
Well, it's the video that helps us understand why law enforcement is so confident this individual depicted in still images taken from the video is the shooter, right, Lindsay? Who else would be jumping from the roof and scampering off? But it doesn't really do much to help law enforcement identify the individual, and that is why They are imploring the public to rack their brains to see if they can remember anything that might help them identify the individual that they believe shot and killed Charlie Kirk. That they're receiving as many tips from as the Boston Marathon investigation, I think, is telling, because the FBI really hasn't had as much trouble identifying a shooter perhaps since then, and so it does reflect in some ways the insistence on public help. In the Boston Marathon case, that manhunt went on over 3 days. They shut down Boston. They have not done that here or told the public to alter their posture in any way, except to say, look at the distinctive T-shirt, look at the hat, look at the sneakers, and see if you can do anything to remember who this individual is. They are confident that someone on that campus would recognize him after he spent at least a half an hour there in advance of the shooting.
And again, they did express confidence. The Governor Cox saying, we are going to catch this person. Aaron Katersky, thank you so much. We will, of course, continue to keep you updated on ABC News Live and abcnews.com with whatever updates we see with regard to the death, the murder of Charlie Kirk. Until then, I'm Lindsay Davis in New York. Good night.